Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of The Fundamentalist Show. The world of black metal has gone straight to hell, pun intended. Child pornography charges against Inquisition, Nazi charges against Watain. It's a veritable black metal bloodbath out there, and we're going to get into all the gory details. And the one lone bit of good news, Rob Halford wants to make black metal, and he's a sterling stand-up guy. All this and more on this week's episode of The Fundamentalists. Holy fucking black metal bloodbath, Batman. It's been an absolute shit show in the world of black metal this week. You might remember from a previous episode of The Fundamentalist where we covered Take's tour being canceled after violent threats and pressure from Antiva. Well, it just gets worse and worse from here. Antiva was at it again when it came to the Watain and Destroyer 666 tour here in the United States, getting multiple venues to either cancel the shows outright or to at least get Destroyer 666 kicked off the bill. Watain fought vehemently against this and won in some cases, but in others they were, the outside pressure was too much, and honestly, you can't really blame the venue when people are threatening, the things that Antifa are threatening. But that was just the tip of the fucking iceberg, as it turned out. Inquisition has had a hell of a week. They've been kicked off their upcoming tour with Satyricon, kicked off of Maryland Death Fest. They've been kicked off their own fucking record label.
And why?
What could they have done that could be so heinous? Well, apparently something really fucking bad. About 10 years ago, Jason Werbach, better known by his stage name Dagon, pled guilty to a lesser charge of possession of child pornography. Now, he was initially charged with a much more serious version of, child porn possession. Apparently there's degrees of these things. But he pled, with a plea deal to a lesser charge, and apparently no one knew about this for 10 years, but it's out and about now, and quite frankly, the statement that the band released does not paint Jason in a very good light, shall we say. He only talks about how his actions were regrettable, but he hopes that people will still support the band, and blah, 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 blah. We'll get into that later, but he never denies, possessing child porn, only says that his actions were regrettable. Well, yeah, no fucking shit, dude. Most people would say that about possessing child porn. You know what, before we even get into this, I think I need a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, shots with a bot. After the news of this week, it makes you long for the days of yesteryear with bands like Emperor and Immortal. Good old clean church-burning black metal fun.
When did Varg Vikernes become the chill poster child of black metal?
I don't know, but the fact that you could even make that statement
And be halfway right?
just kind of tells you how fucking crazy things have gotten here in the last couple of weeks in the world of black metal. Oh, God.
So, new shot glasses from Septicflesh.
Yeah,
Great show, boys.
Horns and Handles to Septicflesh.
And to Baphomet. God damn.
The other member of Inquisition who did not possess child porn probably drank a whole lot of these after he discovered that his music career, at least when it comes to Inquisition, is fucking over.
This is not the first time they've had controversy, though, right? I mean, I believe I remember also some Nazi allegations.
There were, but somehow they squirted through those. But I mean,
can't shake this one.
Yeah, child porn apparently is the one thing that goes even above the Nazi allegations. Don't worry, there's more Nazi allegations from other black metal bands coming up later on in the show. I think the most shocking thing about the Inquisition news, however, is that about half, and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say about half of the online black metal community, as serious as you can take them, or not serious, are actually fucking defending Dagon, which I find absolutely sickening. It's cool if you want to play this true cult persona online, talking about how black metal comes from the blackest part of your soul. So clearly, if you make good black metal, you're involved in evil deeds because that's just what you are. Hail fucking Satan. And these people aren't being joking. I saw way too many comments to feel comfortable about the fact that it was just like, well, you play black metal, total support, I'll still buy your albums, I'll still go up to shows, fuck these people. What? These are fucking children. These are fucking children.
Yeah, this is a conversation we shouldn't have to have.
Yeah,
okay?
It's absolutely
like,
absurd.
No, none of this is okay. Like, and you're a fucking moron if you want to go with that whole, it's the evil of the evil route. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. Fictitious satanic rituals involving women and children are just that. Fictitious. A part of the satanic panic of the late 70s or the early 80s. Here's the thing. Almost every form of Satanism values children and animals because they are the ones that have the most satanic behavior. They go after what they want. They are constantly trying to fulfill their needs, which is, Satanism. So to say, oh yeah, this is just a part of it, fuck off. All right, get the fuck out of my genre.
Use satanic tenets to take the moral high ground has given him the biggest chub probably ever. Let's be real about this.
I mean, every time I get to use Satanism for the moral high ground, it's quite satisfying.
Yes.
And it's happening more and more often these days.
You're probably not nearly as satisfied as Metal Sucks get every time they try to throw a Nazi allegation at a new band, but
Fuck off with your social justice warrior bullshit. Shall we move on to Watain?
Yeah, so fuck Inquisition, just saying, and fuck you if you're defending.
So glad I didn't buy a fucking t-shirt.
And fuck you if you're defending anything to do with that child pornography charge. Eat a dick. Don't listen to this show. We don't like you.
Fuck off. Die. The most horrible death possible.
Anyway, moving on to Nazis instead of child pornography. Set Titan.
Who thought you would have a sigh of relief when you did that?
Right? AKA Davide Tataro, the live guitar player from Watain. Apparently there's a couple pictures floating around on the internet from various metal blogs that appear to show him giving the Sieg Heil, the Nazi salute. I'd do it right here for you to illustrate if you didn't know, but if
that
you
would be taken out of context so quickly.
Yeah, and then there'll be Nazi charges leveled against the fundamentalist.
If you don't know what it is, read a fucking book.
Yeah, you should honestly fucking know. Eat a dick if you don't. So there's photos of him doing the Nazi salute. He has since taken a leave of absence from the band. Eric Danielson, the frontman for Watain, released a statement shortly thereafter, which I'm going to go ahead and read to you now. The gesture on that picture was done in jest. That's as much as we have to say about that. But to put an end to this tiresome and time-consuming nonsense, the guitarist in question has decided to step aside for a period of time. So it's important to note that he's not leaving the band permanently. He's only taking a temporary leave of absence.
So far.
To avoid further hopeless discussion on the subject, which I feel like is a pretty good point. We furthermore spit upon the ill-willed ignorance of all those who maintain that Watain had any political agenda whatsoever. For 20 years, we have proven otherwise, and people should know better by now. Finally, we would like to send a heartfelt fuck off to all who insist on feeding the mindless moral witch hunt hysteria that is now festering on worldwide heavy metal culture. Hail Satan. Which I feel like pretty much sums up like Watain
Wise words.
That fucking statement, but there's never been a statement that ended with Hail Satan that I've agreed with more. Honestly, I want to give props to him on that. I do feel like the moral panic regarding some things to do with these last couple weeks in black metal, most of them unfounded and based on hearsay, has gotten a little out of control. Now, granted, if all these people that they're claiming are Nazis are actually Nazis, as we said before on the show, fuck them. They can eat a dick. They can join Dagon and Inquisition in the fuck off pile of bands that I'll never support again. But the members of Watain are actively telling you, we're not Nazis. Fuck Nazis. I've never heard a Nazi say fuck Nazism. It's one thing to say I'm not a Nazi. It's another thing entirely to say eat a dick.
But do you think that that's going to be enough for all these social justice warriors, all these Antifa wannabes? Like, what more has to be done to prove the point? And again, I maintain that the toke or take, we're probably saying it wrong, was a soft win. But here we, like, where's Antifa going after Inquisition now?
I mean, just to make it known, I mean, Nazism and Nazi symbolism has been around in heavy metal almost since the very beginning.
And punk.
And punk too. There's photos, of Sid Vicious running around with a swastika T-shirt. I mean, those are pretty famous. Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead was famous for collecting Nazi memorabilia. Obviously, collecting memorabilia and doing the C. Kyle are completely different, but there were photos online of Rob Flynn, one of the most hypocritical pieces of shit in metal, smiling next to Axl Rose, who was doing the C. Kyle. There's photos of James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich in an underground tunnel, blatantly doing the C. Kyle. No one gave a fuck. You have to stop and think for a moment why all of a sudden it is popular to go after people for doing an act that is clearly meant to be controversial, but obviously most people don't mean in their heart of hearts. Obviously James Hetfield, when he does the salute, isn't a fucking Nazi, and most people take him at his word. The problem is that the people in black metal aren't being given the same credit here. They're clearly Nazis because, I don't know, they're Scandinavian, white. Elaborate, Dan.
It's funny, you just said some very big names in the world of music, and
Yeah, look these up.
And we haven't heard, seen repercussions. Yet these arguably smaller bands, I mean, Watain is a big name in the black metal world, and rightfully so. However, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but these are soft targets. Soft targets, easy wins. And they're not the real problem in the world of music. Or in the world of, subversive racism, I mean, hell, I've heard plenty of country western song with just straight up outlandish racist language. And nobody's raising hell about that.
I feel like in a world where Donald Trump is president and a lot of people have a lot of pent-up anger towards not only him, but the Republican Party and conservatives in general, like you said, they are looking for a win because, honestly, I feel like a lot of these people feel like they can't win anywhere else in real life.
At least not for the next 8 years.
Yeah, so they're turning outward and are looking for easy targets. Kind of like when Obama was president. Like, everyone here in the Deep South, I don't know if you grew up here or were around in the Deep South during the Obama years, but oh my fucking God, the conservatives latched on to fucking anything they could to point fingers and proof of the Muslim or gay or liberal agenda here, right here. People can't fight against Trump and his racism, at least not the way they'd like to, so they're finding some target, in this case, Watain or Take or Destroyer 666, and pointing the finger. And they're winning because a lot of these bands, they're very small, they're very underground bands. A lot of them are foreign and they don't have the money to fight Antifa.
And on the venue side, who wants to be the venue or the whatever, like the promoter, producer, venue owner who wants to defend a possibly Nazi band?
No one does. And
exactly.
Just to make it clear, like, I can't reiterate enough, fuck Nazis, fuck Nazism, fuck fascism of any kind. I absolutely abhor and detest anyone or any idea that would deny anyone the right to live or be happy or do exactly what the fuck they want to do. But with that being said, I'm also completely against smearing an entire band, their life's work. Many of these bands play for 10, 15, 20 years just to get to this underground level, only to have it fucking smashed on what could be completely baseless accusations. It is a genre based on controversy, after all.
And I mean, just in the past 10 years or more, it was nothing to read an article back when print media was a big thing. nothing remarkable about a big name in the black metal world having to cancel their tour because they can't afford to take the time off from work or whatever. Like, these people have real world problems too, and they are bending over backwards for an art form that's underappreciated. And here we go, you know, people who want to, you know, rue the day are coming in and fucking it up for the good people who enjoy this shit.
Do you remember the good old days when black metal tours just used to get canceled in countries like Malaysia or Indonesia because religious fucktards that they're trying to offend got offended?
Right.
I do. That's when black metal was really doing the Dark Lord's work. But now it's because someone was posted doing the Sieg Heil. Clearly they're all pieces of shit. It's one... I understand why that's a red flag. It's a huge red flag. I'm not denying it.
And again, fuck Nazis. They can't say that enough.
I'm just saying, if we're going to go after the folks in black metal, we need to be consistent on this and go after everybody who does it.
It's just like that line in Take's song that was
I don't know if you're about to quote Nazis, buddy.
It was anti-Islamic, right?
Yeah, fuck
Islam being a religion.
and the Muhammadans or whatever.
Right.
Oh, God, I just said that. Sorry.
And, you know, Islam being a religion. So we can't go after that religion for reasons to be determined still.
For reasons undefined.
Exactly, reasons undefined, yet, you know, same band and other bands been going against, you know, railing against the religion of Yahweh forever, and everybody has no problem with that. Which, I mean, I don't have a problem with that, obviously. Fuck God. Fuck the Christian God. All that shit. However...
It's hard to fuck something that doesn't exist.
So true. So true.
He's been trying to fuck his girlfriend for a while, but...
What girlfriend? Duel?
Exactly.
What
That was the
girlfriend?
joke. God, it went over his head. That's fuck.
Such a cunt. Anyways. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on to the one
Good
lone bit of good news that we have
Jesus.
here. So initially, when we were planning out this episode over, after bitching our respective jobs, we were initially going to talk about the new Judas Priest record, Firepower, which I'm just going to go ahead and say is really fucking good. You should definitely check it out. But in the immediate aftermath of that record coming out, Rob Halford was discussing how he wants to collaborate with Nergal on a black metal project, and both my ears turned up, as did Dan. This sounds like a match made in heaven. The fucking metal god, Rob Halford, with Nergal, one of the brightest minds, not only in extreme music, but in black metal.
Pretty sure he's a demigod among us. I mean, kick shit out of
Seemingly a genuinely good stand-up guy. I know it probably sounds awful to the true cult evil motherfuckers that I'm saying that black metal needs a good guy, but Nergal is the good guy in black metal, as I feel is Abat and Isan, which is another artist that Rob Halford talked about wanting to work with, which would blow my fucking mind. But
do you think it'll really happen? I mean,
No.
Isan's like the hot chick everybody wants to fuck,
I
but
mean, Isan was supposed to do a project with Matt Havey from Trivium, which honestly would blow my fucking mind. But I mean, Isan has carved out his own niche for being a genius, and like you said, everybody really wants to work with him. Rob Halford went on to say, like, you know, he listens to a lot of black metal. He mentioned Emperor's Anthems to the Welkin at Dusk as being one of his favorite records, which is something that me and the metal god have in common. That record fucking rules. All I'm saying is, don't take Emperor away from me. Antifa, metal sex, just don't fucking do it. Just don't dig up any dirt on Isan. Not that there really is. He seems to be a really cool dude. Proof that you don't have to be a fucking given the Sieg Heil, banging or maybe not banging kids, but definitely possessing material that shows kids being diddled in your hard drive to make good black metal. Arguably the best black metal band ever is relatively uncontroversial. I'm sure they were connected at some point to like that first wave of black metal and the church burnings and the arson and things, but I'm trying to think of anything remotely controversial to do with Isan or Emperor. And
yeah, I think, you know, they kept their distance, you know, from all that good stuff.
Proof that you could be fucking legendary in black metal and not be a dipshit. Just fucking saying. So, to recap on this very brief and kind of somber episode of The Fundamentalist. Don't diddle kids. Checklist for 2018.
Child porn's bad. Nazis are bad. Black metal good, but stop fucking up.
Apparently, like, what are you supposed to do when you find a new band here in the year 2018? Oh, I gotta do some research. Gotta make sure they're haven't been accused of Nazism or God forbid, maybe they worship Jesus in their off time.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's
getting bad out there.
It is. It's kind of shit.
And we started talking about episode number 4. Here we are. We're not going to talk about black metal at all. We don't want to just talk about black metal, but apparently
it's the only thing in the news.
The only thing going on right now.
And this show is not supposed to be the metal news, and it's never going to be, at least not entirely, but these news stories are shaking the foundation of one of the main true, portions of metal. If you're one of those people that subscribes to the fact that there's like only a couple of true forms of metal, thrash, death, black, doom, power, then one of those 5 pillars is really getting rocked to its core, and I feel like it's going to have to go through some sort of cultural renaissance or risk having to lose its status as one of those 5 pillars, and might have to go even further underground to the point of things like black metal or like porno grind type deals. Like genres that have their legions of fans, and they're out there, but they're not visible really on any sort of like tangible spectrum outside of like internet message boards, which would be really fucking sad when you consider how many great black metal bands and artists that have been. I don't think that the genre should shy away from being controversial, as that is a very tenet of its founding and existence.
But just still use good judgment.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say this enough. I'm not defending the Nazism or perceived Nazism of these other bands. If these people who are accused of being Nazis can be proved to be Nazis, then yes, fuck them, and I'll stop supporting whatever musical endeavors that they do. But fuck, man, it's a picture. It's a fucking picture. And there's plenty of pictures of other people far more influential in the world, not just in music, but in general, doing way worse shit, and no one else is talking about it. So stop taking the easy route, stop taking your easy fucking victories, and just be fucking consistent. Just saying. I'm also saying that's the end of the show. Fuck Nazis. Fuck Inquisition. Fuck you if you defend Inquisition. Don't fucking listen to the show. Eat a dick. Not that there's anything wrong with eating a dick. We are LGBTQ.
Eat a dirty dick. Alright.
Yeah, eat a dirty Nazi dick. You fuck. This has been The Fundamentalist. We're gonna polish off this rest of the whiskey. Cheers.
Hails.
At least we'll always have you a bot. You'll never disappoint us.
Don't take a bot away from us.
Or Emperor. We'll kill you.